On a peaceful farm by a sparkling lake, a little duck named Dippy lived with his family. Dippy was the smallest duckling in the pond, but he was full of curiosity and energy. The other animals on the farm often laughed at his tiny size and said, "You're too little to do anything important." But Dippy believed that one day he would prove them wrong. One evening, as the sun set behind the rolling hills, dark clouds gathered in the sky. The wind started to howl, and the farm animals huddled together. Farmer Joe checked the weather report and gasped, "A big storm is coming. We must secure everything before it hits." The animals scrambled to find shelter. The cows gathered in the barn, the chickens nestled in their coop, and the horses stood safely in their stable. But as Dippy waddled toward the pond, he heard a strange creaking noise coming from the windmill. Dippy looked up and saw that the windmill's blades were spinning wildly. The strong winds had loosened one of the wooden beams holding the windmill in place. If the windmill collapsed, it could crash into the barn where the cows were hiding. Dippy knew he had to do something. He ran to the other animals, quacking loudly. "The windmill is going to fall. We have to warn Farmer Joe." The bigger animals hesitated. "You're just a little duck, Dippy," said the old horse. "What can you do?" But Dippy didn't give up. He flapped his tiny wings as fast as he could and rushed to Farmer Joe's house. He pecked at the door, quacking as loud as possible. "Farmer Joe, come quickly." Farmer Joe opened the door and saw Dippy flapping frantically. "What's wrong, little one?" he asked. Dippy led him to the windmill just in time. "Oh no," Farmer Joe shouted as he saw the loose beams swaying dangerously in the wind. He quickly grabbed his tools and secured the windmill just before it could collapse. When the storm finally passed, the animals came out of their shelters, safe and sound. The cows cheered. "Dippy saved us. He's a hero." The old horse smiled. "I guess being small doesn't mean you can't do big things." From that day on, Dippy was no longer just the little duck. He was known as Dippy the hero, the bravest duck on the farm. And every time a storm came, the animals knew they could count on their tiny but mighty friend. So kids, no matter how small you are, you can still make a big difference.